and I won't waste it.
Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Growing the Dream. I do hope you're all doing very well and having a brilliant day. So, I want to thank everyone first and foremost for giving such a warm reception to episode 1. I'm really glad that you all seem to enjoy it and then like the idea of where I'm taking this series. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I'm genuinely quite impressed with that. I thought I was going to bash into the door. It is a bit difficult reversing vehicles, even in cab in the game, because you don't have the ability to move about and check your mirrors and move around as quickly as you would do in real life, do we? So, yeah, let me just polish this bit off here. Try and straighten that trailer up as best as possible. There we go. Genuinely chuffed with that. So, yeah, welcome to episode 2. I'm glad you all seemed to enjoy episode 1 so far. And now it's time to crack on with the work and with the farm. So, as I thought there would be in the preparation of this series, with all the realistic mods that I've got running, I kind of knew in the back of my mind that there would be the odd, not mod conflict, because so far so good in that respect. I haven't found any mod conflicts, but what I have appreciated is that not all of the mods are necessarily going to work with each other. Now, in particular, the ones I'm talking about in this instance are Realistic Livestock, the Ritter version of Realistic Livestock, big shout out to Ritter, and Argsy's version, Argsy's seasonal wool production, big shout out to Argsy, if you are watching mate, hope you're well. The seasonal wool production mod is one that I was really on board with, and I really wanted to use it in this series. It's actually still active now, I haven't disabled it yet, but I have just realised and learnt that it doesn't actually work, at the minute anyway, it doesn't actually work with Realistic Livestock. The idea of the seasonal wool production is just brilliant, if you ask me. Obviously, in real life, sheep don't produce wool constantly. They don't just sit there and spit out pellets of wool, or any kind of wool in that respect, day by day, month by month. They get sheared once or twice a year, and the seasonal wool production allows you to do that. Now, I believe with the seasonal wool production, you get a shearing, which you pay for, which I think is a brilliant thing to have in the game as well. You pay for that per sheep, as you would do in real life, and I haven't quite reversed back enough, have I? Goodness me, shocking. Yeah, you pay for it you pay for it per sheep, and in that respect, so it's a really cool mod to have working, but it doesn't recognise Realistic Livestock. Now, I believe, I don't get me wrong, I don't know the ins and outs of how the mod works itself, but I believe it's something to do with the fact that Realistic Livestock, of course, treats every animal as individual, whereas the seasonal wool production, for example, I think takes it deals with the flock or the herd, as it were, within the pasture, because I think it does keep a record of the wool that those animals produce in that pasture or that shed or that barn during the time that they're in there, and then when it comes to the 2 shearing periods, which I think is April and October, if I remember correctly, it's you then get all that wool in 1 or 2 goes, and you know, and do it that way. And I really wanted to have that mod running, but it appears it doesn't quite work. And you know, I'm not moaning about it, don't get me wrong, not moaning about it whatsoever. It is what it is. Mods are what they are. They are, in some cases, extremely complicated things, and it is just down to the way that the mods work. Of course, Argsy's mod works with a pasture or a pen or a barn and takes them all into consideration as a flock or a herd, not as individual animals. So, the long and short of it is, at the minute, the way I stand at the minute, I'm not going to be able to take advantage of seasonal wool production because the sheep already have started producing wool, even though I've got both mods running. So it is what it is. I'm just going to have to like it and lump it. There's only so much I can do in that respect. So but speaking of the sheep, I want to give a massive shout out to someone else again, my good friend Nina. Now Nina, if those of you who do know the name, if you watch Mr. Sealy P's videos, you will know who Nina is. If you attended Llama, you will know who Nina is. Nina is an actual sheep farmer in real life. And I'm very lucky enough to be able to call her a friend. And she watched the episode 1 of this, and she sent me, we had a conversation this morning, actually. And she said, "What are you doing with your blue-faced Leicesters? You don't have those." So, yeah, they were the wrong choice for me. So I thought, while I am where I am in the series at the very beginning, I kind of thought the right thing to do before I get too deep into the series and the animals get too... sorted with their productivity levels and their health, etc. I thought it's the prime opportunity to switch them out. So we did have 20 blue-faced Leicesters. We now have 20 Texel sheep. Her reasoning is, and of course, like I said, she's an actual sheep farmer. She's a shepherd, or is it shepherdess? I don't know. But she's an actual sheep farmer, so she knows everything and considerably more than I do. And her reasoning is that blue-faced Leicesters are only used as a terminal sire to put on hill sheep producing mules. So sell the existing flock you've got and buy Texels. They're a fast-growing, meaty prime stock. They are the butcher's choice. So that's exactly what I've done. Who am I to not take the advice of an actual sheep farmer, shepherdess? So yeah, that's exactly what I've done, and we now have 20 Texel sheep over in the pasture. So, those are, at the minute, those are the two, I say alterations. I've altered the actual breed of the sheep that we have, and I've also just let you guys know that I can't take advantage of the seasonal wool production mod at the minute anyway. I do believe, because it was with Nina that I had this conversation, I do believe that Argsy is aware that seasonal wool production doesn't necessarily work alongside realistic livestock, but... it is a complicated thing. I'm not expecting Argsy to be able to change it. If he can, brilliant. If he can't, it's no, it is what it is at the end of the day, because it's a very complicated thing. So, yeah, that's that. And I'm pretty sure, so far, with everything else, I haven't experienced any issues. Of course, I haven't got that far with everything else, have I? There's so many mods that I have running on this save. And I did touch base on the fact that I know I posted an image, didn't I, during episode 1 of the list of the realistic mods that I've got running on this save. I'm not going to go into detail in one go and talk about each one on its own, because that's almost an entire video in of itself. The last video was just north of an hour long, so if you did watch it all to the end, I do very much appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with me in episode 1. It was a long episode, I get that. There was a lot to do, there was a lot to talk about, but I didn't get to talk about, I wasn't going to talk about all of the individual mods. And I'm not going to be able to do that now, because I don't want to bore you guys to tears and just stand there for ages talking about each individual mod. When it comes to the appropriate time to talk about each of the individual mods, as and when they need bringing up into conversation, that's when I'll do it, and just turn it along. I hate that. Why do they stop like that? Yeah, and I'll just talk about each of the individual mods as I go along in the series. So that's that. Yeah, so as you can see, we're on the way to the animal dealer, because I need to introduce a ram or two to the flock of sheep, and I need to introduce a bull to the 2 breeds of cattle, the Jerseys and the Herefords that we have on the farm. I'm not sure what's going to be available at the animal dealer here, because again, because of realistic livestock, you purchase everything individually. So we'll see what's available. Let's see what we've got to choose from. So let me just bring up the F1 menu, because I'm new to this incredible livestock trailer here. So first, let me unfold the trailer. Now, I've told myself I'm not going to be doing anything out of cab, and because I haven't actually used this trailer before, I need to make sure that I've unfolded the rear deck. Again, trying to do this realistically. Now, let me see. Which one do I... Okay, see, I can't actually see the trailer, can I? Which one do I do? Is it that one? I don't know. Am I unfolding the deck or not? That's opening that door. That's closing that door. Right, bear with me 2 seconds. Right, forgive me, all sorted there. I've got the controls right because I use a control pad. There's all numerous things I could do with my toggles. But we are now on the trigger. The ramp is down for the animals. Now, of course, I've got to do this from the cabin in order to be able to put the animal into the trailers. But let's see what they've got. And look at that immediately. Obviously, realistic livestock is an incredibly detailed mod. But look how cute that is. But look at that. This is a diseased animal. But that's just heartbreaking, isn't it? 402 pounds. I just want to buy it just to bring it to health, but it's a diseased animal that could have an effect on my herd, unfortunately. But look how cute the little images of the little 2-month-old calf here. Oh dear. Anyway, right, okay, so we need a Jersey bull and a Hereford bull. Okay, it seems that we don't have any Hereford bulls in stock at the minute, which is a shame. We do have a couple of Jersey bulls though. What have we got? Ooh, very good. Obviously, it's a little bit more expensive. It's 15 months old, so it is healthy, and it is older than 12 months. So this is a prime reproduction stage, which is great. This one is 13 months, so it is over the 12-month bracket of being able to reproduce. But looking at the health of it, all the different factors that we can take in when it comes to cattle, I think that's got to be the one to purchase, hasn't it? So let's buy the selected. £3,000, yep, £3,086. Buy selected, yep. Do I want to buy the... What do you mean? Are you sure you want to buy 0 animals for £0? What's going on there? Oh, I want to select it. There we go. Buy selected. That's better. Yep. Excellent. Right. I'm assuming I've got that into my livestock trailer now, have I? Let's have a look. Oh, there we are. Lovely stuff. Get you onto the farm, mate. There we go. Now, I don't believe I can... I don't think... Let me just try. But I don't think, and I don't think I should really be putting a ram in with a bull. But yeah. Yeah, you can't do that now, can you? It is what it is. Right, so let's get back to the farm. Now I need to... If I remember correctly... That's what I need to be doing there. Let me just go and check that I've closed. Yes, I have. Got the control right. Excuse the faffing around, ladies and gentlemen, but it is what it is. Like I said, trying to make sure that I do everything in cab without jumping out of cab mode does come with its challenges, because you can't see in any way what's behind you. So, let's get this bull down to the dairy barn. We'll have to wait till the animal dealer can get a Hereford bull in stock, so we'll get this back to the dairy barn, and then we'll come back and check out. In fact, let me just do that now. In fact, I should have done that then, shouldn't I? But I wouldn't have been able to do it whilst in the trailer here. But if I go to the icon, I just want to see what they've got in stock for some rams. So, sheep and goats. Texels is what I want. We've got a couple of Texels there. Blueface Leicesters. Texel rams. Oh, look at that. Now, I've got no control over the quality of the animals that realistic livestock gives me. But look at that. How about that? They have one Texel ram in stock, £2,276, and it is in excellent health overall. So that is well worth the money. Excellent stuff, right? We'll be bringing making another trip down here in a few minutes' time. So let's get this one home, introduce it to the herd, and then you can get making me some calves. Right, here we are at the dairy barn. I think I've really quite lucked out with that selection of animals that the dealer has got available to us at the minute. Yes, we haven't been able to get a Hereford bull, or there isn't one available anyway, but you know what? It is what it is. One will turn up eventually. Now, I am new to realistic livestock. I've used it once before, Arrow's version, when I was making my Iowa cattle series, but because I was new to it all, it was a new mod, and what I hadn't appreciated was the individual listings of the animals. Now, back on Iowa cattle, I had over, I think at the time it was north of 500 animals, so having a list of 500 individual animals made it something of a, it was quite a task, let's be honest, so that's why I turned that one off during that series. So this, with me having, what have I got in here? I think I've got 30, is it? Yeah, I've got 30 herd of Jerseys down here, and I've got 30 Herefords up there, and I've got 20 Texels. So within the confines of each of the individual barns and pastures, I think that's just about manageable for now anyway. I know we've just bought a bull that's going to make them reproduce, but it's still a lot more manageable than playing around with 500 head of the things, isn't it? So yeah. Right, so let's get the trailer reversed in. But again, because I'm not fully up to speed with everything that realistic livestock has to offer, let's get that unfolded. I'm not too sure exactly how often they refresh. So let me pull in here, and I'm hoping I should get a trigger. Where's my animal trigger? To unload the animals. Huh. Oh, please don't tell me this is going to be a problem. That'll be a nightmare. I've looked out buying the things and having them available to me, but I can't seem to unload it into my barn. Okay, right. Bear with me. 2 seconds. Let's see if I can sort this one out. Righto, folks, we're back. That's an hour of my life I'm not going to get back. So, little bit of faffing around there. What I have established is, because I wasn't too sure whether what the problem I was experiencing there was this particular trailer not recognising the different unique breeds of animals that we have on this map, or whether it was something to do with the dairy barn that I've got down there, the triggers, you know what I mean? You know, like what I was mentioning earlier at the beginning of the video about things just not necessarily always working together. I mean, we all play Farming Simulator. We know what it's like. I'm sure we have all experienced it in some way or another. But in this case, I have determined that the problem was the dairy barn. It didn't recognise. See there? I've just reversed into this. It's a fenceless pasture. Cookie's fenceless pastures mod seems to work perfectly. So I can now unload my Texel ram. So let's select that. Move selected, move to husbandry. Yep, there we are. Excellent stuff. That's worked a treat. So let's just pull ourselves out of here and go and have a look at that. But yeah, it didn't work with that particular dairy barn. Maybe it's just something, in inverted commas, simple to do with that particular trigger. The trigger works when you're in person over in that dairy barn, but it doesn't work when with that particular trailer. So let's have a look at there. So we've now got 21 animals in here. That's great. I was able to, because I've been coming in and out the game, testing things and making, you know, numerous trips back and to the animal dealership and back to the yard and all that kind of stuff. It's taken a fair bit of time to figure out what the problem was. Yeah, I made sure I'd kept a safe copy of the save at its current state when realistic livestock had those particular animals in stock. So that Texel ram that I've just delivered into the husbandry, into the pasture there, is the same one that was available to me when I first made that recording a wee while ago. So that's all good. And the Jersey bull is the same one, and it costs the same amount of money that is now over in the cattle barn, because I have got that there. I was just I couldn't deliver it with this livestock trailer, so I have had to just do it manually from the trigger that's in the behind the door of the dairy barn, because that, like I say, it works in person. It just didn't work with this trailer, so it was a bit strange. But anyway, it is what it is. I was toying over all sorts of ideas in my head. Am I going to, you know, is this going to work at all? But I've done a load of testing, and because the idea that I've got in my mind, of course, is that eventually come winter time, when the temperatures start to drop a bit, I'll be moving all of these animals from the pasture here into the barn, and keep them warm for the winter. And I needed to test that works, but sure enough, I was able to deliver that Texel there that I've just delivered into here, into the sheep barn that I've got over by the farm on the other side of the road over there. So moving the sheep works, moving the cattle works. It just doesn't. I can't move them into. I can't unload them into that dairy barn, unfortunately, with the livestock trailer. So it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I knew there was going to be teething problems here and there with all these mods and stuff, and even though this isn't anything to do with a realistic mod, it's just, I say just, this is Rossen Mods' livestock trailer, and I don't believe the issue is anything to do with that trailer. It's to do with the MA7 dairy barn that I've got down there. But while I'm here, I just thought I'd show you in a little bit more detail this area of my farm that Chimera very kindly built for me a couple of weeks ago. Bit of a shout out to the Spitfires there as well. But yeah, we've got a couple of the cow barns here. This is where we're going to be moving the cows to in winter as well. And the idea in my head is at least I'm going to be putting, hopefully, when we get some Herefords into Hereford bulls down in the animal dealer, I'll be able to start reproducing, or the bulls, the Herefords will be able to start reproducing. We'll get some calves, and I'll be able to put the calves in one barn, the adults in the other barn, etc., etc. You see where I'm going with that. So that's the plan with these. The Herefords are just in a pasture here, just on the other side of the gate. So far, all looking pretty healthy. But yeah, we need to get a bull into there as well. We do have a few. There is a few young in there as well, but we do need to start getting a few more reproduced. But yeah. It's a lovely little, it's a relatively kind of overgrown area here, which I really quite like. I've been told under no circumstances am I to remove this tree. She's put it there to give me a bit of a challenge in moving things around, because everything I can do down, like loading the straw into this barn, you do from here, etc. So I can access all the trigger points in these two barns. But yeah, she popped that tree there and said, don't move it. I'm not allowed to chop it down. So yeah. But I've got a little bit of a shed here for storage at the minute. There's not much in here at the minute. We'll no doubt get something filled up there. I've got this area here, this little shed where I can store some bales if need be. At the minute, I do have my liquid trailer. This is what I'm going to be using for moving milk around in the fullness of time when we start getting some. But yeah, so that's that problem overcome anyway. As I say, it's taken me best part of an hour to sort all that out. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It's sorted now. That's all that matters. So we can get this back to the farm now, and the main job that I have to deal with in today's episode is to bale up the straw and get all those bales hopefully picked up and popped safely out of the way of any rain that may come in the future. That's the plan. So we've got a couple of fields to get baled up there. It does seem to look like we're going to get quite a few straw bales. I think when we did the harvest last episode, I think it's been quite generous with the straw that it's given us, so I'm hoping we're going to have quite a few bales, which we will need to keep hold of. I'm not going to be making much money from them. I don't expect to be making much money from them anyway, even if I was going to be selling them, because I'm running the realistic economy mod, which does reduce the cost, the price of certain products in the game to a much more realistic level. But I do need to keep hold of them, because I do need to be making total mix. Hey, up. Goodness me. Alright, Nigel Mansell. Yeah, I need to be keeping hold of it for making total mix ration and for the bedding for the barns and all that. So yeah, need to keep hold of it. Right. I know the livestock trailer lives down at the dairy barn there, but for now I'm just going to leave it here. I'll sort that out a bit later on. Done enough faffing for today. I want to go and get cracking and get the straw baled up. And like I said in the last episode, in a vain attempt to be doing everything as realistically as possible. I don't have any auto load features in this save. I don't have any auto load bale forks or anything like that, or trailers or anything, or load it as much as I wanted. And I've always been a fan of using Argsy's Anywhere object storage, which is a cracking mod for taking existing sheds and being able to place bale storage facilities in those existing sheds. I'm not going to be doing that in this series. I'm going to be doing everything by hand. So yeah, wish me luck with that one. Stacking bales on a trailer one by one manually. It's going to take me a while, so I won't certainly won't be torturing you guys and gals out there with a whole sequence of me picking them up. I'll do something with them, no doubt, but speed up the footage perhaps, or something like that. We'll see. But for now, I need to get my way out to the fields and get the straw picked up. Right, almost there now, just round the corner. I do love this little hamlet that's on this map here. This gorgeous old historic church and little houses here. It's perfectly rural British countryside, this. It really is. Oxygen David has done a wonderful job with this map. Out of the way, dear. You don't want to get run over by a bigger deer, do you? But yeah, so where we are, obviously at the minute we're in August. It's the first, as we're all no doubt aware, it's the first in-game day. So I am not able to take advantage of the selected days that I've chosen. Now, I really, really, really wanted to do a 28-day month. It's something that I've always wanted to do in Farming Simulator, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought it's not... Obviously, it'll work perfectly in a private save, so to speak, but to be making content on a 28-day month, I think it's just a little bit pointless, because I'd spend most of the time just fast forwarding time so that I didn't drag it out. Otherwise, you know, it'd be one of those things. So I'm currently I've selected a 5-day month. So when we hit September, we'll have 5 in-game days to get the work done that we need to do. Now, come September, the work that was going to have to take priority is our lavender field and our mint fields, and our poppy fields will be ready to harvest. Now, as I mentioned in the first episode, we're going to be harvesting those and selling those products to the prime oil processing plant, which is down at the south of the map in the town there. But in the fullness of time, I would like to invest in that prime oil processing plant so that I can take advantage of the extra money that you gain from turning those lavender, mint and poppy crops into oils, because it looks like it could be a very lucrative venture. So that's something that I'm considering, but I'll have to get into debt for that. Now, speaking of debt as well, again, I think I did briefly mention that I was going to look into purchasing some more fields, and I can only do that using the normal loan system, as it were. I was hoping I was going to be able to use the grant system of the red tape mod, but the grant system only allows you to get into debt for construction projects, not taking on more land. But what I have done, and a big shout out to one of you wonderful viewers who left a comment in episode 1, Ursmersman6736, who very kindly suggested the enhanced loan mod. Now, that's a great shout out. I did have the enhanced loan mods installed ages ago, but for some reason I deleted it. I think it was causing me a load of problems at the time. So I'm hoping that's not going to cause me a problem now. I do have it installed now, running on this save. I hope it doesn't, again, going back to the previous topic of mods not necessarily conflicting with each other, but not working with each other, because the game's running fine. I've not had any errors. I'm not experiencing any lag or frame rate drops or anything like that. So I just hope everything seems to work properly. But if I go into my menus now, I've got the enhanced loan system. So again, taking out a loan using this system instead of the base game thing will just add that little extra touch of realism. And of course, I've got red tape, and I've got the hire purchasing mod as well, which still seems to be working fine. If I go to here, where are we? Hire purchasing, sorry, wrong one. Hire purchasing. It still registers that I've just purchased this John Deere, and it's the monies seem to be sitting right, and the payments and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping the two don't conflict with each other. So what I may well do, I'm going to get this baling done now, get all these straw bales baled up and picked up, and then once all that's done, then I may well consider getting into debt and getting a big loan out to buy these new fields, so that they may possibly be able to tie in with what we've got to do next month as well. If I run very quickly through the fields that I was considering purchasing, because in total, where are we? In total, I'm going to be looking at getting into debt for approximately, I'm just trying to find my notes here, approximately £457,000. So I've got field 27, which is in mind. This is an empty field currently at £134,611. Field 10 over here, £86,000, just over. This has a field of poppies in at the minute. Field 38, which is a nice big one over on the far east side of the map here, 137.5 grand almost. And then last but not least, field 34 next door, another empty field. So yeah, collectively that will almost double the land portfolio of the farm. The farm's currently sitting at just over around about 50 acres, near as makes no difference, and collectively those fields come to 53.6 acres. So that is going to more than, very slightly more than double the portfolio of land. So I think with the whole concept of wanting to do that with this series, bring this farm into profit and make it successful, I think that would be the right thing to do, because I'm not going to be able to manage that with the 50 acres that this farm currently has. So, anyway, enough of my dulcet tones for now. I need to crack on with a bit of work. Let's fire up this baler and get to... Ooh, there we go. Another telling off. PTO angle too sharp. This is an interesting one. Be careful. The PTO angle between your machine and the implement is too large. The drive shaft starts working with harsh pulsations, vibration increases, and wears build up quickly. Keep the angle below 30 degrees and try to disengage the PTO during sharp turns and headland manoeuvres. I mean, the level of detail in Advanced Damage System is absolutely incredible. The fact that it's recognising that, that's amazing. It really is. So, right, okay. Another telling off from Advanced Damage System. Let's get going. Job done, baling sorted. Now, we didn't do too bad off of both those fields. I have just done both those fields. I think I did just put that first one into a cinematic, but I've got them both done. And all in all, we got 44 bales from both of the fields. So, in total, 330,000 litres. I do have it set, my baler, to 150 centimetre bales. So that gives us 7,500 litres each per bale. Like I say, yeah, bringing that total to 330,000 litres. Now I've got to get them all picked up. I'm going to try, initially, to get them stacked in here, in that shed, where that liquid tanker is at the minute. Might not get them all in there, we shall see, because I've got to do it all manually. I did say that there's going to be no auto-load trailers, no auto-load bale pickup devices or anything like that. So yeah, I've got all that to come. Another thing, though, that as a direct result of having all of these incredible mods running, and I believe that this effect is a result of NX Modding's Field Kit mod. It might have also something to do with the Crop Destruction Overhaul mod, but I'm pretty sure this is down to NX Modding's Farm Kit mod. Did I just say Field Kit? Sorry, Farm Kit. It's an incredible thing, it really is. It's so detailed, it encompasses a whole different variety of things in the game. It's not just physics, it's not just moisture and wet ground wheel slip or anything like that. But what we have here is proper like stubble destruction, so depending on when you move your vehicle, where and how and fast and all that kind of stuff, we've got actual destruction of the ground here. So if I jump into the PDA very quickly and show you what I'm talking about, if we go and have a look at these fields, as you'll see, all these marks here and in this field here, the two fields that we've been working in, it turns them into a cultivated state where you've been working. So it's very, very clever, and you know, so it means there's more to think about, more to take on board. I mean, there's not much you can do about it. I'm not trying to reduce it, because I think that's what would happen in real life at the end of the day. If you're driving an 8, 9, 10 ton tractor in around a field, you're going to have an effect on the ground beneath the wheels, aren't you? So it's just brilliant. Where Farming Simulator 25 is now in respect of the ingenious quality of the mods that we now have access to, I think it is absolutely brilliant. It really is. So yeah. And speaking of weights and vehicles and all that kind of stuff, the other thing that I've had to be, and now having to be very mindful of, is the task of picking up the bales. Well, I feel I need to be mindful of it anyway. I'm going to be using the telehandler, the JCB, which has 145 horsepower. I'm going to be picking up all the bales, putting them on the bale trailer, and trying my very best to stack as many of them as I can in that bale shed next to the sheep pasture. But I think now I have needed to be a lot more mindful of the weight of all the bales, the mass, and whether the JCB is actually going to be able to manage to pull them all. So what I don't want to be doing, and what I'm sure we've all been used to and done in the past in respect of picking up a load of bales, stacking them on the trailer, maybe 3 high, and this particular bale trailer, I don't know exactly how many it can hold at the minute, because I've never used this one before, but I'm almost certain that if I overload it, the JCB is not going to be able to manage to tow them all, and I'm going to make a right mess of the ground underneath the wheels again. So again, it's just a really, really nice thing to have to properly bear in mind what I'm going to be doing. So I have to, obviously the in-game heads-up display has told me that each of those 7,500 litre bales weighs 320 kilograms. So across all of the bales that we have got just over 14 tons of bales. So thinking about it, doing the very basic mathematics, 20 bales equates to 6.4 tons. So I'm pretty sure this thing will be capable of towing 6.4 tons. So 20 bales, I think, should be the limit. So I'll be stacking them too high. I think I can get 10 bales on the trailer. We shall see. I'll see what I can get, but that's, again, do you know what I mean? Just trying to think about not overloading the trailer. Yes, we've all seen us overloading trailers before, and the best physics that the game has been able to offer thus far has been the trailer toppling over if you go around a corner too fast. Whereas in this instance, I think it's going to really, really struggle to tow it if I overload it, because I've got the more realistic game engine mod running, which completely overhauls the physics of the game, and obviously there's the likes of NX Modding's farm kit mod. Yeah, there's just so many things to take on board. I did say at the beginning of this series, at the beginning of episode 1, that I was feeling slightly overwhelmed with what I've got. Hey, oh, that was a good aim. Yeah, I was feeling slightly overwhelmed with all that I've got to take on board and focus on and remember and keep track of in this series. But I'm kind of excited. The more and more I'm doing things now, I'm just getting more and more excited about it. I reckon I could easily get 20 bales on there, yeah. But yeah, I just want to be mindful of not overloading it and causing myself a problem, because I don't want to be... I could use a tractor to tow this, load up the flatbed trailer that's attached to a tractor with the bales, but then I'd have to come back into the fields, walk between the fields to come and get the telehandler, because I've got to unload them at the other end as well. So I'm just going to try my very best to do everything here with the telehandler. I hope I'm not going to regret this and eat my words. I hope it's going to be okay. But yeah, it just saves a little bit of faffing around, I hope. We shall see. But anyway, yeah, so I think I'm gonna crack on with this. I'll pop a bit of music behind this and speed the footage up a bit, because it's going to take me a while. We're 3:30 in the afternoon of this one day in-game month, sorry. So yeah, I've not got much of today's day left, really, and this is probably a good couple of hours work. We'll see. But either way, we'll stick some tunes on and get cracking. Righto, folks, here we are. I've got the last of the bales on the trailer now. Now, this has been something of a faff. There's been a handful of faffs in today's episode, hasn't there? But, yeah. Now, I don't know what the problem is. As you can see, look, you see the bales are jiggling around. I've had to do some experimentation with how many bales I put on the trailer. I've left them at 1 high. As you can see, I've only got 5 bales on the trailer at the minute. And it's been all over the place. The trailer capsizes. It's crazy. It really has. It's been quite a challenge getting these bales into here. They're all done, though, apart from these 5. And I'm just going to leave these on the trailer for now. And get these done off camera, because faff, that's why. But yeah, I don't know what the which mod it is that causes it. I mean, we're all no stranger to farming simulator bale physics, are we? It's just been something of a nightmare. But look at that. They're all... I've spaced them out as best as I can so that they're not touching each other, but they look like they're touching each other now because of just the way they've been jiggling around. But as soon as I get rid of the belts, all is good with the world. So one of the mods I am running is a mod called RMC Stiff Belts by Roughneck Modding Crew. Maybe I need to try it without that mod and see if it makes a difference. But goodness me, it's been an absolute faff. It really has. So let me just turn this engine off so I'm not talking over it. There we are. Turn off. But yeah, bit of a faff. But anyway, it's all done. It's all, apart from these 5, it's all sorted. We've got them all neatly stacked in the shed there. I had to shift the water bowser over here a little bit just to give myself a little bit more room to manoeuvre. But yeah, all sorted. So, what did I say? We had 330,000 litres of straw now on the farm, which is great. We're now at 20 to 6 in the evening, because that did take me a fair bit of time. But that's a relatively nice place to end the day, really, isn't it? 20 to 6 in the evening. We've got second episode in. We've got 2 fields harvested, all the straw picked up, all the bales picked up almost and put into the shed. What I think I am going to do before I do close off this episode is I'm going to get this loan and buy these fields. So let's do that right away. So into our loan system mod. Now, like I said before, I do hope this doesn't conflict or argue with any of the other mods that I've got going on. But let's so we're going to take a loan. Now, in total, as I think I mentioned before, I am going to need, for all 4 of the fields, I'm going to need £457,062. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to stretch that out a little bit, and I think I'm going to go for 400 and let's say 480,000. I think it would be easy just to go 500,000, but I'm not going to take the mick too much, so I'm going to go for £480,000 over a period of, let's see what it does over 5 years. A monthly repayment of 8859. Okay, so what does it do over 4 years? A monthly payment of 10890. Let's do it over 5 years. Just to, yeah. 8859. Goodness me, there's some interest there. What are we on there? £43,200 in interest. What is it if I do it over the 4 years again? Let's see what that is. 34,000 in interest. Yeah. Oh, sod it. Let's do it in 5 years. Right. Monthly repayment of 8859. I think we had a monthly repayment of 6 something on the tractor. Yeah, let's do it. Come on. Boom. Take loan. 3.5% interest rate. Yeah, okay. Ooh, we are now massively in debt, aren't we now? So where's me hire purchasing? Yeah, 6659. We are heavy in debt now, aren't we, ladies and gentlemen? But let's go buy some land and get this done, shall we? Commit properly. So, first and foremost, field 10. We're having that. I'm going to need to buy in the precision farming data as well, aren't I? So, field 10. Field 27. Yeah, we're going to buy that one. That's ours. Field 34 and 38. There we go. Field 34 and field 38. Oh, done. Look at that. Right, so we're just under 70 grand in the bank, which is just about roughly where, just a little bit less than what I started out with at the beginning of episode 1, isn't it? But that's a good place to be. Now, forgive me again, popping back into the PDA, we have 2 empty fields. 27 is empty, 34 is empty, 38 has, if I remind myself, where are we at? Is that linseed? I think. Yep, 38 has got linseed in, and field 10 has got poppies. Where is poppies? Bum, 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 bum. Where's poppies gone? Can't see for looking. Where are they? Why can't I see poppies in? Oh, there they are. Yeah, field 10, there is poppies, as is our field 7. So that's great. So they should be ready to harvest next month, as will the linseed be, actually, yeah, both all at the same growth stage there. Linseed, poppy. So next month's going to be busy. We've got the lavender here in field 4. We've got the mint in field 6. We've got poppies in field 10, poppies in field 7, linseed in field 38. 2 empty fields to deal with here, I think, and 2 empty fields to deal with here as well. And we've got 2 relatively small fields of grass that we do need to get working in and get the grass baled up in grass form and tedded over for hay. Now, of course, I'm running the moisture system mod, so I want to ted for hay, but I'm not necessarily going to get hay straight away. I need to get my mind around that one as well. So there's a lot to think about in this. There really is. But I am excited to do it. I'm looking forward to do it, and that's one of the reasons why I've got, because when we hit next month, we're going to be in 5 in-game working days. So hopefully if I get down to that grass ASAP, we'll be able to ted it over, and possibly have to ted it over twice to turn it over to dry it and quicker to get the hay done. Because the last time I did use any kind of moisture system mod, I needed the hay straight away, and I tedded it and it was still grass, and it was like, oh no, what to do? So you know what I mean? So there's lots to think about, lots to do, but we're all right now. There we go. Just under 70 grand in the bank, and where are we at? 700,000 pounds in debt, and I still haven't been able to figure out what I'm going to do about purchasing that production point. But I think that has to be something that I do in the near future, when I've got a better idea of what kind of money the farm is going to be making, the kind of money we're going to get back from the linseed that we've just bought in that field, the poppies, etc, etc. We'll see what we can do, but yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we might be able to get a little bit of money back into the bank and see where we stand. But for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed this second episode of the series and found it a little bit of fun. If you're new to the channel and you've liked the video and you enjoy the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like too, if you can. It does do wonders, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code, if any of you are in the market for Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There's coffee.com, if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link, if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support there, ladies and gentlemen, would be hugely appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.